A poor farmer, mocked and humiliated by his friends, finds a path to unimaginable riches. But what starts as a blessing turns into a curse when he learns the terrible price of his fortune. What would you do if the life of your loved one depended on your decisions? Would you trade their happiness for wealth? Stay with me, because this is a story you'll never forget, and by the end, you might be asking yourself the same question Tar had to face. Is any price too high? In a quiet, forgotten village, far from the bustle of the cities, there lived a man named Tar. Tar was no hero, no king, just a simple farmer with a hard-working heart. What he lacked in riches, he made up for in love. His wife, a vibrant woman, worked at the market, selling fruits and vegetables. Together they had 3 children, 2 strong sons and a beautiful, kind-hearted daughter named Amina. Tar worked from sunrise to sunset, toiling on other people's farms because he didn't own land of his own. Life wasn't easy, but he always provided enough to keep his family content. At night, despite his aching muscles and worn-out spirit, Tar would sit with his children, telling stories and laughing together. His home was small, but it overflowed with love. There was something about poverty that weighed heavily on him: loneliness. You see, Tar had once been surrounded by friends, but as the years went by and their wealth grew while his stayed the same, they began to drift away. He overheard their whispers, their judgment. Tar is a good man, but he's too poor to keep up with us. It stung. Still, Tar consoled himself with the thought, at least I am with my family. That's what truly matters. One day, the village organized a grand feast, a rare gathering where people came together to celebrate the harvest. Tar, though hesitant, decided to go. He hoped to see his old friends and feel included once again. As he walked into the lively celebration, his heart lifted at the sight of familiar faces. His friends greeted him warmly and invited him to join their table. For a moment, Tar felt like he belonged again. They ate, laughed, and reminisced about old times. But as the meal ended, something happened that would change Tar forever. One of his friends stood up and said with a smirk, "Tar, since you're not as rich as us, how about you pack the plates?" The laughter that followed cut through Tar's heart like a knife. Embarrassed, he tried to defend himself. "We are all friends, and I am older than most of you. Just because I don't have much doesn't mean you can treat me this way." But his words fell on deaf ears. Another friend added mockingly, "If you don't pack the plates, we'll tell everyone you didn't pay your share. That would be even more embarrassing, wouldn't it?" Humiliated, Tar had no choice. He packed the plates in silence, his pride crushed. That walk home was the longest of his life. His wife noticed the sadness in his eyes and asked what had happened. Tar sighed and replied, "They treated me badly because I'm not rich, but it doesn't matter. I'll keep working hard. For you, for the children." Tar's resilience was tested time and again. He worked tirelessly on farms often underpaid or not paid at all. There were days when he returned home empty-handed, carrying only his frustrations. His wealthier friends would take advantage of him, asking him to clean their homes or wash their clothes in exchange for meager coins. One harvest season, Tar approached the wealthiest man in the village, Chief Azuka, for work. Azuka was known for his vast farm and his cunning ways. Tar and his 2 sons worked for days under the blistering sun, hauling heavy sacks and tending to crops. When the harvest was complete, Tar approached Azuka for payment. Azuka handed him only 1/3 of what he was owed. "Come back tomorrow for the rest," the chief said dismissively. Confused but desperate, Tar returned the next day. This time, Azuka's demeanor was different. With a sly smile, he leaned forward and said, "Tar, you work too hard for so little. What if I told you there's a way to be rich without breaking your back?" Tar hesitated, but curiosity got the better of him. "What do you mean?" Azuka pulled out a bag of gold coins and placed it in Tar's hands. "Take this as a gift. There's a man at the edge of the forest who can help you. He'll show you how to get more." The temptation was overwhelming. Tar thought of his family, his wife, his children, their future. That night, he barely slept, wrestling with the decision. By morning, he made up his mind. He would go. The forest was dense, the air heavy with mystery. Tar found the old man Azuka had mentioned, a figure with a long white beard and piercing eyes. The man welcomed him and said, "You seek riches, do you? It can be yours, but remember, nothing comes without a price." Tar was skeptical. "What do I have to do?" The man handed him a bowl of dark oil and instructed him to rub it on his skin. Standing in a circle of stones, Tar repeated the chants the man whispered to him. As the ritual ended, Tar felt a warmth spread through his body. The old man handed him a pouch of gold coins. "This is just the beginning," he said. "But remember, the gods always collect their dues." When Tar returned home with the pouch, his family was stunned. The gold transformed their lives overnight. Their once humble home became a place of comfort and luxury. But as their wealth grew, so did the whispers in the village. How did Tar become so rich so suddenly? Some speculated he had found a treasure. Others said it was divine intervention. For a while, Tar basked in his newfound success, but in the back of his mind, the old man's warning echoed. The gods always collect their dues. One evening, a messenger arrived at Tar's home with a simple note. "The gods demand their payment. Meet me at the forest." Tar's heart sank. He knew this day would come, but he wasn't prepared for what followed. The old man met him with a grim expression. "The gods have blessed you, but now they demand your daughter, Amina." Tar was horrified. "No, she is my only daughter. I can't do this." The old man's voice was cold. "If you refuse, you will lose everything, the wealth, your family, even your sanity. The gods do not wait." For days, Tar agonized over the decision. On the 7th day, consumed by fear, he prepared the potion and brought Amina to the forest. As she lay unconscious, he prepared to complete the ritual. Just as he was about to proceed, his wife's scream pierced the night. She had followed him, along with the villagers. They restrained Tar, saving Amina just in time. Overcome with guilt, Tar confessed everything. The villagers took him to the king, who decreed that Tar would spend the rest of his life in prison, atoning for his actions. Chief Azuka, the true mastermind, fled the village, leaving behind only destruction. Tar's story became a warning to all who heard it, a lesson about the dangers of greed and the price of chasing wealth at any cost. His family, though forever changed, found a way to heal. Now, ask yourself, what matters most in your life? Is there a line you would never cross no matter what? Share this story with someone who needs a reminder that true wealth isn't measured in gold, it's found in the love and integrity we hold close.